everyone, it's Jess here from the Scrappy Sisters and thank you for joining me. So today I'm going to be using two of the Confessions of a Paper Addict cut files to create a first birthday layout for Thomas. So I saw that Vicky Booten had this super gorgeous gradient effect paper in one of her foundation pages, the pre-made mixed media background papers. But what I found is that her gradient effect didn't go far enough to the edge of the paper. It was more situated right in the center of the paper. And I really wanted mine, because I was going to put two cut files on it, I really wanted it to cover a little bit more of the page. So I thought I'd give it a go myself. And so I am putting water onto my page first before adding the watercolor paints. Now you can see I'm obviously wetting this paper quite a bit because you can see that some of the paper is sort of starting to molt, I guess is the word for it, or ball up just a little bit. But once it dries, I can sort of brush those extra little bits off and it doesn't look too rough or ragged or furry, as another way of wording it. So once I come back the next day and that is dry, then I am going to come at it with a little bit of Heidi Swap Color Shine. And I've got the navy and the teal and I think the gold as well, because you know I always love a little bit of gold. So I'm just going to splatter that on. But then I decided I wanted some bigger splatters, some bigger spots. So I actually tried to almost pour some of the Heidi Swap Color Shine out on my page. Now this kind of went well and kind of didn't. That first splot I was really happy with. It was a nice, decent size, no problem. And then they get bigger and bigger and bigger and it turns into a little bit of a disaster. Again, I'm not too worried because I know that I'm going to be putting two cut files on this, so I know a lot of this is going to end up being covered up. But yes, that third spot is a tiny bit bigger than I had anticipated, and perhaps using a paintbrush that would absorb more water and therefore allow for a bit more of a bigger drop or splot to come out may have been my better option. But either way, I plow ahead. And of course, one, to not learn from my mistakes, I attempt to do that again. And what do you know, too much comes out this time as well. 1, 2 is okay, 3 is okay. Oh, maybe I manage it with this one, maybe. Just had a little bit of an extra spill there, so I had to be careful. Just kind of evening up the splotches. Actually, that navy worked pretty well, so there we go. I managed the navy. The gold, on the other hand, is perhaps not so much of a raging success. So the gold comes along, and I splatter the gold in the exact same way. But of course, this time I end up with a big splodge of poured out gold. The gold is on its last leg, so I had to tip the bottle quite a bit up higher. And yes, got out a lot more than I had at first anticipated. But you know, as I said, we just roll with it and it's all good. Probably the biggest number one issue with the largest splotches here in this is drying time. I left this to dry overnight, and because it's an oily based type of product, it was still quite sticky even the next day. So just being careful with the amount of product all in one spot. I probably should have soaked some up a little bit, maybe with a paper towel or something. But anyway, we keep going. No big deal. So after this, once that is done and once I have left those to dry, I then move on to adding on my cut files. So they are all dry. I'm going to do a doodly border before I get started, and just a really simple, all the way around with a navy. And once I've gone all the way around the edge once, I will go around it again a second time. And that will create just a nice little doodly effect around the edge there, just to lift the page and sort of to tie all that navy in together. And then Next, I am going to pop some foam onto the back of my cut files. Actually, not foam on the cut files, foam on the photo, double-sided tape on the cut files. I actually cut the cut file, pasted the cut files directly flat onto the paper, but stuck up the photograph on foam. Then I'm using a super cute doodlebug collection called Dragon Tales, I think it's called, and I then am going to add little bits and bobs of that all around the page. It is a super cute collection. So it's a super cute collection, and I think I wanted to use like everything from the collection. Katie actually gave it to me quite a while ago, I think, maybe even for Jack's birthday, and I just had never used it. And then when I realised I only had one layout left to do for Thomas's whole first year album, I was like, yes, this is it. This is perfect. I have to get out this collection and use that for this last layout. So just stuck on all the things, really. The colours were just gorgeous. So I only have the 6x6 paper pad, so I backed my cut file using the 6x6 paper pad. I did have to do a little join in the dinosaur because he wouldn't fit with just one 6x6 piece of paper, but honestly you can't even tell that there is a join down. It's sort of just above the presents down on his tail if you're trying to hunt for it, but yeah, it's really hard to see. I do that quite a bit actually if I need to, if I've only got 6x6 paper. So yeah, just sticking everything down. Mostly everything is being stuck flat directly to the cut files, except for this little candle. He is going up. I have never had these kind of enamel dots before. They are matte, so they're not shiny at all, and I've never ever had matte enamel dots. What a sheltered life I live, but I really like them. They're fun. I did need to add a little bit of glue to them. They didn't adhere super well with everything else going onto the page, but that was okay. Not too hard to add a little bit more glue. And then I added a title, and I just added the words birthday boy, but when I was looking back on it later, it felt a little empty up above in that blue space above the words birthday boy. So I actually come in later and put the word happy in there. So it now says happy birthday boy when you check out the photos at the end. I remembered I had the sticker sheet as well, so I just put a few little bits and bobs from the sticker sheet onto the page because, you know, always can have more. This is a very busy layout for me, but I really love it. I don't think I put any journaling on this one. I honestly can't remember if I did or not. I think I actually ended up doing 2 pages for his first birthday because, you know, it's the end of the album and there's a front and a back page in the last pocket. And so I think I did journaling on the first page of his first birthday, but not on this second page. 'Cause I think I just decided it sort of speaks for itself, this layout. This layout's pretty self-explanatory, but I'm thinking. I possibly did. Oh no, I can see the photos coming. I did. I put journaling on. I was about to say I possibly did because I would want it to match everything else in his album, and all the rest of his album had journaling. So I did. I did quite a bit of journaling actually, and I'm really happy with the way this turned out. I think it looks really great. Thank you so much for watching and for paying attention to all of this time, and I hope you have a really lovely day. Please like and subscribe and leave me a comment and I'll get back to you. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I've got links in the description box to anything you might need. Thanks so much.